Welcome to the MSP Corner podcast. Before we kick off our show, we would like to share what our main objective is at the MSP Corner. Our main goal is to help CEOs build profitable and self-sustainable IT service firms. We are not just providing tools for IT firms, we will be sitting in meetings with you to ensure your IT firm stays on track. The first area we are focused on, strategic sales. IT firms are stuck selling technology or IT support. We will provide you with the blueprint so you position your firm as an added value to your prospects. We will have framework on how to sell value so you influence the prospect into selecting your firm. The second area we see many IT firms struggle in is marketing. 90+% of businesses rely on antiquated marketing methods. The most popular choice, word of mouth. We have proven methods on how to attract the ideal prospect. Our framework will include how to become the online authority and be the business influencer for an industry. The third component to our package, scaling. IT firms walk away from opportunities because they lack the bandwidth or skill set to scale. We have lined up reputable businesses so our members can hire on-demand resources that will allow them to scale their business. The fourth area we will offer help in, selecting the right tools. In order to deliver value, you need the right tech stack. Our platform will offer information on products that are the ideal choice for MSPs. The fifth area we will offer help in is with documentation. Templates are a critical component when building an MSP. We will have contracts, proposals, SOWs, collateral, and much more in the template section. You will have every document you need to start up your managed IT service business. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go to our next podcast. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning into the MSP Corner podcast. I am your host, Fernando Leon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Gregory Moraviet. And the title of today's show was, it came up by accident, really. Just conversations. We have conversations with so many CEOs at MSPs that they asked me to solve problems, and I'm like, okay, let's talk about this on a show. And so today's title show is Why Prospects Ghost MSP Sales Teams. I've been ghosted. Have you been ghosted, Greg?
Yeah, every day.
Well, I've been ghosted by many women, right?
Yeah,
when I was
too.
single, right?
All the time.
Got me prepared for sales, right? Rejection, ghosting, all that great stuff that comes along with sales. Sales is almost like dating, right? It's like you're trying to go on a date, and is it going to work out? Does it all match up? Do we match? Are we a match? Well, anyways, I digress. Anyways, like always, we always have an agenda or the topics we're going to discuss today. And we always start with an introduction. And we're going to talk about the following 6 topics. Ghosting starts before the first follow-up. Salespeople chase activity instead of commitment. Weak follow-up signals weak leadership. Ouch. Prospects ghost when salespeople avoid tension. Ghosting is often a trust breakdown, not disinterest. Ghosting after verbal yes. And then a short plug on the MSP Corner. And then I'll close it out with some final thoughts. Well, like many of you, most MSP salespeople don't lose deals because of pricing, even competition, or even timing. They lose because silence replaces momentum. Ghosting isn't random. So don't think that it is. It's really a signal. And today we're gonna break down why MSP prospects disappear, what sales professionals do to create that silence, and how disciplined positioning, follow up, and leadership presence can stop deals from quietly dying. Then I'm going to challenge our esteemed guest to weigh in from the buyer side. But also Gregory is also he does his sales, and I'm sure he gets ghosted too. So we'll get a little taste of his feedback on some of these topics. But let me go with the first topic, which is ghosting from the first follow up here. Now, ghosting usually isn't caused by a bad follow up. It's it's caused by a weak first conversation. And what is that first conversation? I believe it's the discovery. Because when MSP salespeople rush discovery, stay surface level, or avoid uncomfortable questions, prospects don't feel anchored to the process. They don't feel urgency. They don't feel any risk. They don't feel leadership. Now, silence is going to follow the when there's gap in this clarity, or if there's and strong sales conversations. I have to say, anytime anybody's trying to speed things up, we know there's trouble. So strong sales conversations, you got to slow them down. You just have to. You cannot rush these things. They diagnose pain precisely. Now you need a sales process for that. You've got to ask really tough questions. You've got to frame consequences and establish why doing nothing is risky. Without that foundation, every follow up feels optional to the buyer, even if they love you, right? Because let's face it, this is it's a curse with us salespeople. People like us. We're friendly. We have great presence. We're charismatic. We have great personalities. People just like us. They gravitate to us, and it's because of our personable nature. So, Greg, let me ask you a quick question. When a business approaches you as a buyer, okay, so you're now the client, or sorry, prospective client. What early signals tell you whether you'll stay engaged or you decide, these guys suck, they're terrible?
Well, usually if they don't have a domain URL, I mean, that's like a signal right there of some kind.
It
A lot of
is.
people do business and they don't have domain URLs. They don't like have a domain name.
Yeah.
That will instantly alert me that something's off.
Okay. Okay.
Like
But
if they're emailing me from Gmail,
yeah.
I'm like, well, how good can these guys be if they don't even have a domain? Maybe then they don't even have a website. Or if I go to their website and it's just like a one pager or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
I might turn off right there.
That's a big turnoff. That's a big turnoff for me too. It just screams illegitimacy, right?
It does,
You
yes.
just don't look legit. You don't look professional. It's not a good look. So I agree with that. But let's say you've checked off the boxes that determine, okay, these guys could be a good fit. So you enter into a conversation, but have you gone through that process where you're just like, okay, I've talked to two salespeople. This guy, I'm going to go with this guy. The other guy didn't seem to ask the right questions, or do you have a process or a frame of mind that says, okay, I'm going with the other guy?
Yeah, if people don't listen to what I say,
Yeah,
if I tell them to call me in a month or I call me in 2 weeks or wait for me to call them back and they don't listen to that, that's a huge warning sign for me.
it is. I'm a big believer in being a good listener, even in
Yes.
emails, right? It's like I get emails from so many people trying to sell me something, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll contact me in 2 weeks. If they
Right.
contact me 3 days later, you know how annoying that is? That
Very.
is so annoying. I'm just like, dude, you're not paying attention here, man. What's going on? So yeah, I get you. I get you. Being a good listener is really important. But I think that my earlier statement of framing consequences. How do you feel about that? Like, Greg, you should. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want you to feel like I'm picking on you. So I got to think of something else here. I gotta frame it in a way that okay, you're in college and a tutor is trying to sell you their services, and they're just like, Greg, you need to sign up for our tutoring classes because if you don't, you're going to flunk out of college. And
Yeah, I don't do well with fear.
so you're not a big fear guy. You don't
I've
like
seen
fear.
fear used as a way of selling things,
Yeah.
but I don't sign in for fear. If someone
What
tries to
about
scare me about something, I just go, okay, whatever.
okay, how about if they framed it in a way that's not fearful? Greg, what's going to happen if you don't get tutored?
Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like I know what I want. If I want chocolate ice cream and someone's like, Greg, strawberry really tastes the best. It's the best flavor. I'll go, no, it's not. I don't like it. I don't want it. Stop trying to push it on me. And they're like, well, have you ever had strawberry? Have you ever tasted it? Do you know what it's like? And I'm like, look, I just said to you,
Exactly. They're not
no,
listening.
no.
But here's okay, how about this? Hey Greg, you're looking for some ice cream. Yeah, I'm looking for chocolate ice cream.
Yes.
Okay, great. I have chocolate ice cream for you. But let me just
Good.
share something real
No, give
quick.
me the quote for the chocolate now, or I'll kill you. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I'll
Yeah,
murder you if you don't give me the quote for the chocolate. If you try to speak to me about anything other than directly what I want. Now, after I bought the chocolate ice cream from you 7 or 8 times, you could come back to me and say, you know what? We also sell bubble gum. And I'll be all, really? Oh, interesting.
what
Well, throw
about
some of
this?
that in.
What about the hold on? How about this? Greg, you're a valued customer. We just
So
got
I'm
a
a valued
report.
customer already. We've already been
We
doing business. Then I
yes.
trust you. Whatever you say, I'm going to listen
Ex-
to. I'm going to
okay,
do.
so I come back to you and I say, hey, you know what, Greg? Chocolate ice cream is causing heart disease. We want to sell you this other ice cream. It's a little bit more expensive. How do you feel about that?
If we haven't done business together yet, I would say, don't make me kill you. But if we've done business for a long time and you're like, look, chocolate ice cream has got cancerous causing things in it. And
Yeah,
then I said, really? And you sent me an article and it was true. I might be grateful, but I might also hate your guts. I might say, well, I didn't need to know that. But I mean, I'd blow it off. I'd go, whatever. Fernando's just trying to help be helpful. I'd be
yeah,
cool with it, but I wouldn't appreciate it a lot, and I wouldn't
yeah.
change what I was doing.
Got it, got it. So you have a very unique. You and I have very unique personalities because I'm also not into the fear mongering type of thing. But here's the thing: if you express to me, you personally express to me, I'm selling you ice cream, and you say, you know what? If I keep eating this ice cream, I'm gonna have a heart attack, but I want it,
Yes, yes. Give it to
right?
me.
You still want it.
I still want it.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I want more of it actually now.
Okay. All right. All right. Then let's frame it in a different way because there's urgency. Do you believe that we should create urgency when you're
Yes.
qualifying and going
Yes,
through
I do.
discovery?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. I believe in urgency when it's appropriate.
When it's appropriate. The
Yeah,
client,
if something's
which
due by the end of the month or at the end of the quarter or the end of the year, you have to get
Yeah.
compliant or something. That's completely legitimate.
Yeah.
There's no lying about it. It's like they tell you that their things are urgent. Usually you
So,
don't tell them about it. And if they go,
yeah.
yeah, I have to be compliant by the end of the quarter, you're gonna be like, whoa, well, let's talk about getting that done.
So
But
I
I
just gave
wouldn't
a
be like, either if you don't get compliant by the end of the quarter, you can lose opportunities. I would never
yeah,
say that to them.
yeah. So I just gave a presentation to a really great opportunity. And in that presentation, I highlighted the consequences of him not making a decision. The consequences were unhappy clients, a very disorganized call center, and a lack of visibility into problems because they don't have documentation set up really well, and the people don't do a great job documenting. I go, are those are those highlights important to you? And he's like, yeah, this is going to jeopardize my relationship with my clients. And I have VIP clients. And if they do not get the support they need, it's gonna cause some problems. And I go, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna come up with a plan to solve that problem. So you're we're never going to be at 100%. So I don't want to sell you on, oh, your clients are going to be 125% happy. No, we're going to make most of them happy. Are you okay with that? He's like, yeah, because half of them are not happy right now. I go, great. Okay, then we're gonna shoot for 90%. 9 out of 10 will be happy. We'll try to get that 10th one happy. We just have to nail down what those requirements are. He's like, great. He's like, but you're 30% more expensive. And I go, well, you're going to lose clients. What do you prefer to pay a little bit more to keep all your clients, at least half of them? And or are you going to want to risk losing half of your clients? He's like, I don't want to lose any clients. So you've got to frame. I don't know if that's fear mongering. Do you consider that fear mongering?
Well, I mean, so say we're at a yogurt shop together, you and I, and you go over to the yogurt machine and you hold the lever down for like 5 minutes, and this fucking giant pile of yogurt squirts all over your bowl. And then you pour all these chocolate chip cookie dough and sprinkles and squirt juice all over it. And it take it over to the weigh scale and it weighs 10 pounds.
Yeah,
And they're like, this is going to be $150. And you're
yeah.
like, whoa, bro, whoa. That's more than I wanted to spend. I wouldn't say to them, this is what I would not say. You're going to go hungry if you don't eat all this yogurt,
Yeah.
which is what you said. I'd say, okay, well, let's take off the sprinkles and see how much it costs then. Now it's $135. And
Sure.
then they're like, oh, well, I could take stuff off or I could remove features and it costs less.
Yes.
I want to do that. I
Guess
don't
what?
want you telling me that I'm gonna get
Yeah,
skinny.
yeah. You're absolutely right. We did do that. We came up with some flexible packages
Yeah,
so
that's right.
he
That's what I
could
like.
say, because he was like asking, like, what is causing one package to be more expensive than
Yeah,
the other
yeah, yeah,
package?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I told him, I go, look, this is the reason it's coming out at, I don't know, it's like 20K a month or something. He's like, oh, we got to get it down to like half of that,
Yeah, I
or
dig that,
or
and I just say,
25.
look, let's
We're
lose some of the
it,
stuff that and then they're like,
exact.
well, I don't really want to lose that part.
we took
You
we
go,
took a
well, you
lot
don't
of
have to.
we did we took a lot of sprinkles off,
Yeah,
and he was happy with that. He was very happy with
of
that.
course, because that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. So we were able to. We're at the finish line. Let's just say that we're at the finish line. On Monday, he's going to tell me to send him the contract. So we'll see. We'll see on Monday. We got big news on Monday. All right. Let me jump on to the next topic because we'll never get out of here. All right. Salespeople notoriously chase activity instead of commitment. That's a common problem, I think, because many sales people confuse that term next steps with commitment. So then you got to, you send your proposal, you schedule follow-ups, or you get the occasional check back in. That to me is not momentum. It's administrative motion. Real momentum requires buyer commitment tied to their priorities, not your process, right? Because it does come down to priorities. A lot of this will come down to priorities. If it's not a priority, there's no reason for having a discussion. Because when deals stall, it's often because the prospect never agreed that change mattered today or yesterday or last week or next week. Salespeople avoid pushing for clarity because they fear sounding aggressive or pushy, right? And what's the result? Polite conversations that lead nowhere. So you've got to be pushy. At least nudge a little, right? You got to give a little nudge. Like I'll give you an example. I was on a call with a bank from Nigeria, and it just started off on the wrong foot. And I didn't like where the conversation was going because the guy was very, people from Nigeria, they can be very aggressive and impolite. And I'm okay with that. I have thick skin. But I'm like, hey, Mojo, I forget what his name. He had a very unique name. I go, Mojo, talk to me about why you want to make a change. What are your challenges with your current SOC? Why are you unhappy? Are you unhappy? What is the reason for our call? Oh, I am not unhappy. I am very happy. And that right there to me is a big red flag. To me, it's a big red flag. I don't think I don't think a conversation should continue because to me, it's a waste of time. How do you feel about that?
I think you're very rude.
Okay, go on.
I think you're very rude, but I also know that we've been doing this long enough to recognize, like when someone says, "Yeah, I'm looking to make a decision in 2027," it's like, what?
Yeah,
Why are we having this conversation in January of 2026?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I don't know how to get off the call faster other than to hang up and say, "Oh, we dropped. Let me get
Yeah,
back to you some other time." You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
you are wasting my time like at a monumental scale. We've heard this before. Oh, we're
yeah.
looking to make a decision early 2028 and they
Yeah.
give us a call in 2025. And I'm like, this is the worst possible conversation I've ever had.
Well,
Or we're not looking to make a decision. We're just going through the process of getting bids.
yeah.
I'm like,
And yeah. And how do you think that feels? It's not a good feeling. It's not.
no, it's the worst. It's like, why did you pick on me? Why? It's like you're getting hit up by a playground bully. It's like, why are you picking on me? Why are you
Yeah.
taking an hour out of my time and
Yeah.
totally flushing it down the toilet? I don't understand why you're doing that.
Oh, it got worse than that. Had to wake up at 3 a.m. to be on this
Oh,
4 a.m. call.
oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had my coffee, had to get my coffee, had to be ready, had to have my camera ready, so I had to have a nice shirt on. Oh yeah. It
Oh,
was
blah.
it was
Worst.
fabulous. It was fabulous.
The worst.
All right, all right. Let me get to the next topic here.
I wish there was a way to pre-qualify,
Oh
some
yeah,
of
the
these things.
pre-qualification is so important, and that's what I told the salesperson that was working with me. I go, you've got to do a really good job about pre-qualification because the discovery call is really more about doing a deep dive into why we're having a discussion. A pre-qualification could be really simple. Are you in our industry? Are you an organization we can support? Are you this size? Are you in this area? Are you the decision maker? I think it's important that the decision maker is in on the call, because the conversation may not translate well to him. They may forget something. So it's important that the decision maker be involved. I think that should be an absolute non-negotiable. How do you feel about that?
I think the decision maker needs to be like if they're hunting around for capabilities, I don't think the maker needs to be there. Like if they are, do you have a 24/7 knock? And you're like, no, then they're like, well, thank you for, I don't think a maker needs to be there. But
No.
if they're like, oh, you have a 24, you have everything we want. Now we want to ask you a second layer of questions. I think a decision maker needs to be in on that call.
Yeah.
The first call, the prerequisites, the preliminaries, no, he doesn't need to be there. But yes, he
Yeah.
does need to be at like a call where you've already fleshed out the fact that we're capable of doing what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I agree. I agree. All right, let's go over weak follow-up, how that signals weak leadership and what I mean by that. Because ghosting thrives when follow-up lacks confidence. What does that mean? Well, you got vague check-ins, like just circling back emails, and you got passive language that signals uncertainty. Buyers don't ignore those messages because they're busy. They ignore them because nothing meaningful is being reinforced. And effective follow up reminds prospects why the conversation matters, what risk remains unresolved, and what decision still needs to be made. Right? Silence often follows when salespeople stop leading and start hoping. So I think we're in a very critical position as IT people. I sometimes feel like, oh, we're super critical, and sometimes I feel like we're not. Like I'll give you an example. We've been trying to place a Zscaler full timer for the past 3 months, and the client was like, I need this guy yesterday. I'm like, okay, here's some resumes. Oh, they stink. Or they don't give me any feedback like, oh, they stink or they're great. And then I finally just came out and said, dude, do you need this guy or not? I go, what's going to happen if you don't hire this guy? Well, we do need him. Then why aren't you giving me any feedback? So it's very confusing at times. Finally, I just pushed this. Man, I didn't even push. I jumped on his desk and I said, dude, give me the feedback now. What's the point of me sending you resumes if I don't have any type of feedback? I need input. Finally, they came back and said, yeah, send us more resumes. So we've been, continuing with that position. But man, I just feel sometimes us salespeople, we're just put in a really tough position. I'm just gonna I think that if you're gonna be following up, make sure that you've referenced the conversation like, okay, hey, your full-time guy has been gone 2 weeks now. How urgent is this position? Does it need to be filled? Is your current team handling? Oh yeah, they're getting burnt out. Oh my God, we need this guy now. All right. At least, feedback, right? You've got feedback. So it means that they're still interested in that person. So I don't know. How do you feel about that feedback?
Yeah, if you don't get feedback, there's no point in even
This is
trying.
exactly right. Exactly. I know it. I know it. All right. Prospects ghost when salespeople avoid tension. So what do we mean by that? Sales tension, I don't consider pressure. I want to add another label to it: clarity. Because MSP salespeople that avoid hard questions like budget. I know Greg's going to push back on that. Authority, again, decision maker. Any type of internal resistance or Even competitors might have a priority over you. Those type of positions, or how about this? Another clarity would be business impact, right? Because if they have security concerns, how is security going to impact their business? So you have to be really, really clear on when you're applying, I don't want to say pressure, but clearly defining why you're following up, why you're staying in touch, why you're calling. I like getting people on the phone. If they don't respond to my email the first time, I call them up and I get right in their face. You have to. Cannot let them off the hook. You got the fish on the hook, don't let it off the hook. Ghosting is simply, how can you say, the buyer it's like an easy way out for a lot of buyers or prospective clients. And strong sales conversations respectfully surface friction. And you got to do it early. You have to. You've got to have a little bit of tension there, because they're going to name obstacles before it stalls the deals. And when salespeople don't do this, buyers, most of them, not all of them, will disengage because unresolved tension becomes uncomfortable. All right, so let me jump on to the next topic. Ghosting is often a trust breakdown, not disinterest. But what do I mean by that? Because many salespeople assume silence means the prospect has lost interest, has moved on, they've hired somebody. But in reality, it often means confidence was lost. You lost credibility. Maybe expectations weren't aligned. Maybe the proposal didn't reflect the earlier conversation. Maybe the salesperson stopped sounding like an advisor and started sounding like the V word we all hate, a vendor. Trust isn't built through responsiveness alone. It's built through consistency. And when the message changes, the prospect is going to lose confidence. And when confidence is lost, communication ends. So keep that in mind. It's just, you've got so many reasons for a prospect to disengage. So you've got to minimize these potential breakdowns, man, because there's so many of them. All right, ghosting after the verbal yes. This is an interesting one for me, because the most painful ghosting happens even after you get a verbal yes, or a verbal buy-in, or a verbal commitment. MSP salespeople relax. They kick it. They're like, oh, we're going to end the day early. They stop reinforcing value or delay the next steps. That gap allows doubt, and then for internal management to have objections, or even competitors to sneak in. So you cannot relax until that document is signed. Momentum must increase after the agreement. You can't slow down. Silence in this phase is almost always preventable with strong post-yes leadership. All right, so let me just do a quick plug on the MSP Corner. We're on a mission, Gregory and I, to continue delivering valuable content to our members. And as founders of an MSP, we understand the struggle all of you go through. And that's the reason we built this platform to is designed to help guide you through your challenges. We want to offer frameworks that solve the marketing and selling challenges. Plus, we're going to line up we have resources to help you with outbound campaigns, SEO, PPC, and much, much more. And let me close with this. Ghosting isn't about better email templates or more follow-ups. It's about leadership throughout the sales process. MSPs that get ghosted after failing to anchor or failing to highlight urgency, create commitment, and maintain confidence from first call to the final decision. Salespeople lead, good salespeople lead with clarity instead of caution. And all that silence or ghosting will eventually disappear. You got to try it out, because if you're getting ghosted right now, obviously what you're doing is not working. And that wraps up my show. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for listening. And don't forget to sign up to be a member at mspcorner.com. Please share our link with the CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. All right, guys, thanks again for listening. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to sign up to be a member on www.mspcorner.com. Please share our link with the CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. Have an awesome day.